In this video, I'm gonna show you how to install Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in any car in less than 5 minutes. So this is an 8-inch screen that supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it looks like a tablet. So if we look on the back here, you're probably wondering what's up with so many ports. Well, we got an aux port for audio transmission, and then we got a micro SD port for media playback, cam port for a backup camera. Yes, this unit comes with a backup camera, and a USB-C for power supply. Now that you know what those ports are for, let's dig into the box and see what else we got that came with this unit. First thing that caught my attention is the bendable mount. This is a magnetic bendable mount. It bends in whatever and what way you want. It has a double side tape on both sides and a fully adjustable magnetic mount. So it just snaps to the screen, and I gotta tell ya, it's a pretty strong magnet. It won't fall that easily, or maybe not at all. Next thing is the suction mount, which is mostly used for attaching it to the windshield, but not only to the windshield, it can be attached to the dashboards as well. And the only difference between this and the magnetic mount is not only the suction cap, but the mounting point. It just attaches and slides down to be secured in place. I personally prefer the magnetic mount, but nothing to worry because those mount heads can be swapped. And up next, not so fun, is just the power cord, the aux cord, and it comes with a backup camera as well. Well, now it's time to go for a test drive. Before mounting anything on the dash, I highly suggest cleaning up the area for a better bond. It's either gonna be a suction cap or the double side tape. In my case, I decided to go with the bendable mount because I thought it's gonna work well with the flat area I have above the vents. Before you let it go, just make sure you give it some firm presses on it, and probably holding it for a couple of seconds to make sure that tape bonds to the plastic, and then make the necessary adjustments to the mount head. And one of the main reasons that I went with this screen is that it supports portrait and landscape orientation, so that really changes the game a little bit because allows multiple applications, and it will not obstruct the view of the console for some cars. So I think that is pretty cool. Alright, so let's get started. This is the main menu when we first power up the unit, and you can see it supports CarPlay, Android Auto, and AirPlay. It has a bunch of other things, but I think the main point is the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So we'll try to pair it through the CarPlay first, and in order to do that you need an iPhone, and then we need to go to the Bluetooth settings and look up for the name of the tablet that shows on the screen. We're gonna follow up all the prompts that the iPhone is asking for, and then a couple of seconds later, voila, there we have it. The pairing process was pretty straightforward and smooth, no issues encountered, so it gets 5 stars for that. At the first impression, the screen looks very vivid and has a nice high resolution screen. Everything is nice and sharp looking. Now let's go back to the screen a little bit here and see how we will perform during the use. And the screen is just a tiny bit laggy, but nothing too crazy. It's still usable, but usually it's a wireless connection, so it won't be as snappy as the phone would be. So that being said, let's try the maps here, and we'll add a random place here just to kind of interact with the screen and have an idea how this will look. It's kind of weird how it looks into the portrait mode. I'm not used to see this. Usually I'm used to seeing the landscape mode. All the layout is a little bit funny looking, but it takes a little bit of time to use or get used to it. But other than that, I actually like the portrait mode, and we're gonna do a quick demo here for the songs. We'll see if it has a huge delay or not when skipping the songs. It shouldn't, but it will probably have a little bit. That's to be expected. And as you can see, has just a slight delay in skipping the songs, but again, this shouldn't be a main issue here. Other than that, I really like how it works and how it looks. Now, talking about the interface a bit, you will see this thing that I'm dragging around. It's called Assistive Touch on this screen, and it gives a shortcut for the home screen, sound, and brightness. It can be deactivated from the settings, but we're gonna take a look at that a little bit later. So now, since we are back into the main menu, we're gonna test out the landscape mode. And to do that, as you saw, you'll have to go back in the main menu and tap on that orientation changing icon, and then the unit will reset itself, and then you will just boot up into this landscape mode. And the timer you're seeing in the left hand side, it shows that it only takes 15 seconds for the Apple CarPlay to boot up and be ready to use from the moment you start the car. So that's an interesting fact to know. Now, what I did next was the microphone test. So I've called a different phone to test the microphone and see how good this performs. And what I found out is that it's using the phone microphone to capture your voice. It doesn't seem, or I have not seen, a microphone built in this unit. So if the phone is in your pocket, the other party may have some issues hearing you properly. So that's one thing to keep in mind. In this next part of the video, I'm gonna test out Android Auto, and to do this, it will be the similar scenario. We need an Android phone this time, and same thing, we're gonna look for the unit name in the Bluetooth list, and then we're gonna follow up the prompts on the Android phone, and hopefully the experience will be as smooth as the CarPlay was. And it seems like it takes a little bit of thinking on the Android side, but here we have it. This is the Android Auto working wirelessly with this unit, and the performance on the touch screen is maybe a little bit better than the CarPlay in terms of responsiveness. We are getting a little bit of a better feedback there. And just by interacting with the screen so far, seems to be doing a good job. Not a bad feedback still, and it's pretty not super snappy, but not on the worst side either. So it's somewhere in between for the price and for what it does. I think it's more than enough. We're gonna switch gears and we'll see how Android Auto works in the portrait mode, and same thing, we're gonna reset the unit, and we're gonna take advantage of this opportunity as well to find out how many seconds it would take before Android Auto would be up and ready to be used. Shortly after starting up the car will be basically the similar scenario here, and already a little bit longer than CarPlay, but not bad at 17 seconds. That's how long it took. And as you can see, Android Auto in portrait mode looks actually pretty cool, better than Apple CarPlay, I should say. The layout seems to be better on the portrait mode. I like how you can still use the menu with seeing the maps, something that on the Apple CarPlay it's not possible. And next up, we're gonna test out the AirPlay. This is supposed to allow us to mirror the iPhone screen to the unit, which means we can watch YouTube videos, Netflix, and whatever is on the iPhone screen, it will be projected on the this screen. So that is pretty cool. We're gonna test it out. So first we're gonna follow up the instructions, looking up for the Wi-Fi network with the password that it's in there, and then all we have to do is just like you would do on a TV using the iPhone and control center. we're gonna scroll or look for the screen mirroring setting, and then tapping on the smart screen, and here we have it. Everything that's happening on the phone is shown on the screen, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we're gonna test out the YouTube here. We'll see how this plays the videos. And one thing I've noticed, it's not gonna be full screen. It doesn't take advantage corner to corner or edge to edge. It has a little bit of gap. I'm not sure why, but I guess there is nothing we can do to improve it. Let's move on to the Netflix side of it, and we'll see if the things are better there or not. And seems like it's very similar to the YouTube. It's not taking advantage edge to edge, but I think it's still a good deal for what it is. I wish it would be full screen, but I'm okay with this as well. But if you have an Android device, you're not gonna be left in the dark, because it has SuperLink, so it does the exact same thing with the help of an app, of course, but if you follow the instructions on the screen, it should do the same thing as the AirPlay does on the iPhone. And in this last segment of the video, we're gonna do a quick walk through the settings of the unit. So we got the sound, the screensaver settings here, and then wallpapers. We got just a few, actually 3 wallpapers to choose from, and that's more than enough for me. We got the brightness adjustment with the timing set for dimming, and then assistive touch, that thing that can be dragged on the CarPlay or Android Auto. Now when it comes to the sound output, there are 4 different choices. First is the unit's own speakers. Second would be the aux cable. So if you have an aux port to the car, you can use the supplied aux cable to do that. And third option would be an FM transmitter, which unit has built in. Or fourth, just have the unit connected through Bluetooth to your car sound system, if you have a car that supports Bluetooth, and then the sound will go straight to the speakers. So in conclusion, I highly recommend this screen, especially that it can be used in portrait or landscape mode. That really helps a lot. Different dashboards, different application. I like the screen quality, the display, the pairing process. All of those were nice and smooth. So if you are interested in this tablet, I'll have the link down below in the video description. And if you like this kind of content, please click like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more.